yeah, we have a game for you guys.
Yeah.
Let's see what's going to happen. It's going to be the Swain Traddle against the Ezreal deck. Oh my god, this Ezreal Targon is going to be battered so hard, so hard.
Exactly.
Especially if Xiaoken manages to find his early curve. Kindly Tavern Keeper, not necessarily a free of you want in your starting hand. Maybe you want your early pressure, something like Avaros and Sentry, an Omen Hawk.
Yep, and based on the ban list over here, we have Ash Jadrani being banned from HAVATITE side, and Lux, his Xiaoken's Lux deck is actually banned as well.
Oh, I don't think the Lux deck is going to really matter when Xiaoken has so good options in the Swain Trundle and the MF Gangplank deck.
Yep, and the Solari Priestess coming in down from HAVATITE side of the field. Xiaoken immediately responding with a Death's Hand, taking that creature out of sight.
I think that is the only thing that Ezreal might cause trouble with, because usually that card can give you a lot of flexibility depending on what you summon, and usually you find a golden sister that actually screws your opponent's game plan. You just drop a golden sister that heals you. In the meantime, you do damage with the silver sister that's an elusive, and life's good for you.
Yep, and he seems like he picked the Traveler instead of the Golden Sisters and invoking himself another card, and it seems like Troll Ravager is gonna be on Ken's side of the field with regeneration as he has Leviathan in his hand.
I'm curious how these Freljord Behold decks are going to develop in the future, because usually you don't want to pick an 8 drop in your starting hand.
Well, technically, with this list that Ken is playing, he kind of needs the Leviathan all the time to kind of close him the game. So, yeah, probably whenever he sees a Leviathan, there might be a high chance of him keeping it.
And the King of Trolls is coming through.
Exactly, the King of Troll Trundle is in. It was 5/7 being buffed by the Omen Hawk.
Well, what can his opponent respond with? I think a Thermo Beam might be in order to remove this Trundle, otherwise I don't see how he is going to block here.
Exactly, a Thermal Beam must come down right now, or else, yep, here comes the Thermal Beam onto the Trundle. He do not want that Trundle to wreak havoc in this game, attacking with the Troll Ravager.
And that's why I think this list and most of the Ezreal lists that are not Ezreal Karma or maybe Bilgewater Ezreal are having a hard time, because outside of Thermo Beam you don't really have ways to deal with major threats. The Ezreal Karma can get by with things like stuns, with Palm, with stuns in general.
Steel Tempest and things like that.
Still Tempest. Yeah.
Bad card.
That card. Let's not talk about that one. that means 2 damage to your Nexus.
So here we have an Avalanche going in, clearing his board, taking the Traveler out with another Death's Hand, bringing HAVATITE down to 14 health. So it seems like HAVATITE health is going down slowly but surely, unknowingly, and Ken is plotting every single move out with that Troll Ravager on board having a regeneration.
Also, another downside on HAVATITE's side is that he shouldn't really have ways to deal with Swain in terms of blockers. He should have 2 or less attack minions, and that means free damage from the Swain that, if it's not removed, are going to get in. Besides the 4 that this one is doing because it's buffed.
Yeah, and here we have Xiaoken counting how many Thermal Beam has been used against him. Probably we would see a Get Excited killing the Troll Ravager.
Maybe even a gacha that was top decked.
Yeah.
No, it's a Get Excited. It's not from the far left.
Yeah, so this kind of show that HAVATITE might not have a removal for the Swain over here, and Swain could have a huge opening to swing, be it being at 8 health is possibly really difficult. It's close to impossible to be removed from HAVATITE side.
I mean, this turn, that Swain is not getting removed by any means.
Ooh, and a
Never
falling
mind.
comment.
I was speaking too soon. I forgot about that card. When you are in trouble, you just summon a Celestial card, and everything is going to be fine.
So that's the Swain goes bye bye, and moving on to turn number 8. Ken has the pillar into the Leviathan play as well.
Well, that is decent. It also helps you drag your opponent's minions if he ever plays any. If he plays something like Ezreal, he's just going to drag it with Leviathan.
Right, and here comes a Mentor of Stones. Ice Pillar immediately giving the priority back to HAVATITE.
What people might not realize is that Ice Pillar is such a good control tool because you don't commit anything. If you don't want to slam Leviathan this turn, you can simply go for the Death's Hand and remove the Mentor of the Stones instead. If his opponent is going to put an Ezreal down, removes additional damage. It's a beefy. You can heal as well. I think you don't even need to heal. You can just play those kindly Tavern Keepers tempo-ish.
Yep, and here HAVATITE actually passing the turn back to Ken. Dropping down the Leviathan should be safe for this round. Does HAVATITE have the Ezreal?
I don't think it matters if he has the Ezreal. Oh, Improbulator. That's an interesting one, but Leviathan still does his job, unfortunately. Oh,
and a
he got the
Tri-Beam.
scout.
Oh, he got the scout. HAVATITE just high roll off that Tri-Beam over there.
HAVATITE has prayed to the gods of Runeterra and they answered, giving him a scout. What's funny is that he can buff that scout. Even more. He can buff it with gems as well. He can attack twice with it.
Yo, and there is no way that he could stall it, right? As like Swain is not coming down next turn as well. Like Swain could not attack the next turn.
Needs to come down. Yes, but you generally in Xiaoken's position, you don't really want to attack Hussein. You just want the stun from Leviathan getting in, and next turns forward you can attack freely.
Yep. So going for the kill on the Ice Pillar, Leviathan blocking the Mentor of the Gems.
Well, that's one rabbit. Well, is it a rabbit? No. It's a mouse.
It's a mouse. And a space catcher over here invoking himself, giving him a 3 cost or less card.
Well, let's take a quick look on what can be summoned by this space catcher. You can get sorry? It seems like my sites are really acting up. Anyways. Anyways.
So starting the round with a tiny Devon Keeper.
You can get the Serp. Doesn't matter anymore. I thought he can get the Serpent or the Charger that might force his opponent to block with his Leviathan and get it out of the way, optimizing his removal with something like Mystic Shot, Gachas. Get excited. But the situation does look pretty dire for HAVATITE. He's on 8 HP, doesn't seem to have that much healing, and we see one of the Chargers we were speaking about.
And here comes the Swain coming in down, and as what you said, I don't think Ken is gonna attack this turn, right?
Well, he doesn't need to. He can just chip his opponent to death with the Leviathan at this point. His opponent doesn't seem to draw any healing that he is running. No guiding touch for him. And I think that's the only healing that's there in the deck. It's guiding touch and potentially the Golden Sister from the invoke mechanic. And I think that's all.
Trying to not play the Swain into a Thermal Beam from Ken's side. Does HAVATITE has a removal for the
Well,
Leviathan.
now he can play the Swain safely now.
It seems like he's
He can
going for the
also heal
heal.
his Leviathan.
Like Ken is going to play it slow and like just chip off damage from HAVATITE's Nexus just with the Leviathan itself.
And would you really blame him when you see your opponent doesn't have the healing tools to stay in the game? I don't think so.
Yeah,
And Xiaoken is even at 20 HP, and I think the Targon Ezreal list is not aggressive enough to grind you down with one Ezreal and a bit of spells.
yeah, and a Captain Pharaon off the top of his deck, him bluffing with the with joy in his face, and I believe Xiao can kind of have this game in the bag with Decimate in hand to spare as well.
Trying to think of a line that can save Havatite, but I don't seem to find any. Hush is not a thing because Hush just silences the unit for the turn, which means if you Hushes the Leviathan, it's going to still deal the free damage at the start of the next turn. And
Yeah, but here we have
this,
Appetite attacking with the Scouts first, and here comes the Captain Pharaon coming in with 3 Decimates in hand.
and if he doesn't have healing, Havatite is simply dead. Leviathan is doing 3 already, the Decimate is doing 4. He should be on -2 right now.
Exactly. And not forgetting he has the Depth's Hand for the additional 1 damage to close the game next turn as well.
If something happens, he can do that as well. Not
Yep.
even Guiding Touch does it here. He specifically needs double Guiding Touch to stay in the game for now.
Yeah, but it seems like the clock is ticking for Havatite. Next turn is probably gonna be the last for Havatite, so Havatite has to close the game in this particular turn or else it's over.
I mean, closing the game is out of question here if you're Havatite, I think. Surviving is a big priority.
Yep. So here comes the Ezreal coming down, passing the turn from Ken. It's not gonna
And
be
he
enough.
knows he doesn't really need to do anything. He knows. He's staying there in his evil corner, plotting. He's like, I'm going to kill you with Leviathan if I need to. I'm going to slam an 8-8 with Overwhelm in your face. I have triple decimates. Just surrender. It's over.
Why are you even trying? So Havatite is thinking his outs through nicely, ensuring that he's playing it right this time. Static Shock going in for both creatures, Death's Hand going into the Ezreal.
He doesn't really have a way to deal with both Leviathan and the Captain Pharaon and the Decimates and the Saint on the top. It's just too much pressure from Xiaoken to be handled by this Ezreal Targon list.
Exactly, and there is close to no chance that Havatite actually can win over here. Ezreal is gonna do 2, Mystic Shot is gonna do 4, that's 6, 2 more gems, that's 10. And with 4 mana to spend, I don't think there's any way that Havatite could burst him down from 10 damage.
I think Ken might have gone with just the Decimate. I don't think there is anything that Havatite could have done to prevent that, especially showing signs that he doesn't really have any means to heal himself.
Yes, and here comes the gems, putting down the work, attacking with the 5-1 and the Ezreal, bringing
Well,
Ken
Ezreal
down.
is going to get removed by a flock. End of story. Bye. It's been nice seeing you around.
Nice
See you next
seeing
time,
you.
Runeterra.
Attacking
That's
with the
not gonna do it. That's not gonna do it.
and a Jury Rig coming in to push that 1 and 3 damage over here.
Now I'm scared of that jury rig. I'm really scared.
So blocking from Ken over here, his health total down to 13. Does Havatite have a way to win this? I don't think so. He kind of misplayed with the gems. If he actually healed Azure with the gems, this flop would not have happened.
I'm trying to understand the thinking process behind that. Maybe he wanted to get a more favorable trade or maybe more damage. I don't really understand. Ezreal is already elusive. Your opponent has a hard time to deal with it if he doesn't have the Ravenous Flock, but you still decide to go to buff the Charger. That decision is questionable. Maybe he just wanted to spread the damage so he makes sure some of the damage gets in.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe just setting up a potential Mystic Shot.
Yeah, and here comes a get excited for 5 damage over here, and it seems like HAVATITE has no answer for this, and Ken celebrating right now. He might have already gotten the win.
Come on, Ken. Let's hit this one and let's take this one home.
Decimate coming in from Ken's hand. Is this the end? Does HAVATITE have an answer to burst him down from 8? Hush from Leviathan. That's not gonna cut it. He'll cascade into the Sketcher.
Well, he doesn't. He specifically needs, as I said, double guiding touch to still be in the game. And even with double guiding touch, he's going to die. And he dies. And that's 1-0 for Xiaoken.
Yeah, congrats to Xiaoken for winning the top 8 round, moving into top 4. And let's take a look over here. So, bro, how do you think of that matchup?
Not so fast, Moonboy. Not so fast. He still has one game left.
Oh.
I mean, I'm sure we both of us might want to advance, but
my bad, guys. My bad.
Let's give his opponent a chance, shall we? Oh no. He doesn't. HAVATITE doesn't want to give up on this Ezreal list.
So here we have game number 2 with Gangplank, MF Gangplank against this Ezreal Gems list from HAVATITE. So
if he had some trouble dealing with the Swain TF, which wasn't really aggressive, now he's gonna be in a lot of trouble with a deck that can go fast in the early turns and can go wider.
Yeah, but Ken kind of missing the turn 1 drop over here. It might slow him down just a little bit.
Well, that mana banked is useful if you want to go for spells like Make It Rain and still want to play some units. He can still go for development, which I think he's going to do. He's already going wide. His opponent already needs to pick his removals. And he gets the Butcher. And this Butcher has a solid stat line for a 1-1. He has 2-2. He has the potential to get 3-3 if you have a Warning Shot in hand. I think it's the second best 1-drop in the game, if you ask me.
Exactly. And here comes the swing over here for 7 damage, bringing HAVATITE down to 13. And a Guiding Touch coming in, healing him back to 15.
That's not going to accomplish much, if you ask me, from my experience as an aggro player. I mean, look at Xiaoken's board. What's gonna happen if HAVATITE finds the healing or removal? Xiaoken is going to pull more units on his side, and that's going to kind of be it. He can, I think, decide to either go for double hired gun just to get the trades, or he can go for petty officer just because it's not a tempo loss. But this one just doesn't give you many more options, and I think you don't really want many more options when you have just Make It Rain as a combat trick.
Yes, exactly. And here comes a Make It Rain for 2 damage to everything, and the Ezreal has a clear opening to attack. So is it better to if you went for the Keg instead of that 1-drop creature?
It's really hard to tell for now. And also, I think HAVATITE has a line where he goes for the gems instead of the Ezreal Mystic Shot, just to push more damage, but I think that's not the thing, because Mystic Shot is going to be used here, in my opinion, to remove some of the pressure, remove one of the free twos. Not that it really matters for Xiaoken, considering his hand, considering his board.
He has everything he needs. So
This
here,
Ezreal is going to die in the near future as well.
exactly, and you have an higher gun putting Ezreal down to vulnerable, and it seems like Ezreal is not gonna survive this round.
It might survive if you buff it, but it survives against a 1-1 pool, not against a 3-2 pool. Okay. Anytime you want, HAVATITE. Anytime you want.
So alternatively, he could go for the gem and actually try to heal the Ezreal, but that would be irrelevant. And let me
Look at this juicy MF. He doesn't even need to take care of the... He doesn't even need to redevelop, just because this MF is going to preserve his units from any combat tricks. We might see a potential gacha, a get excited, even a thermo beam if HAVATITE has it. But he has to do something desperately, because this board is going to hit for a lot, and maybe this game is done in 1 or 2 turns.
Yep. So HAVATITE has to pick up something and at least try to clear off Ken's board, or else it's gonna be GG for him.
It's just a guiding touch. It helps with the draw, but it doesn't really help with the free to pool of Ezreal. This Ezreal is going to sacrifice himself just to preserve a bit of HAVATITE's damage for this turn. But 6 HP, is that really comfortable for you when you used already a guiding touch, and we don't know really if HAVATITE has any other guiding touch, which is basically his whole his whole healing in the deck that he knows of.
Right, and also, coming in, he has a Riptide Rex in hand as well. 6 HP is not exactly the best spot that you want to be right now.
I don't think Solari Priestess can find you something here. Even if he finds the Golden Sister, Xiaoken is going to full open attack next turn, and that's going to seal the deal, I think. That's a thermo beam. It pains you when your opponent uses that.
Exactly, and
He just has a hired gun.
higher gun into an open swing, that should be enough for Ken over here to close the game.
And you were actually right. This is the game for Ken.
Here we have Ken celebrating once again. So HAVATITE thinking over here if he has a way out, a jury rig over to block.
He has one blocker. That's a good start. I'll give him that.
Into a Pale Cascade.
Into surrender. Mystic shot maybe, or get excited.
And the Mystic Shot onto the Spirit Zap over here, and here comes a warning shot to close off the game to put him in exactly 0 after this attack. And here comes the scoop from HAVATITE, and we have Xiaoken winning top 8 and moving on to top 4, guys.